O Lord, you search me and you know me. You discern my purpose from afar. And with you there is joy that's everlasting. Even the darkness is radiant in your sight. Welcome to the Voice of Reason, live from Studio B on this Thursday, September 4th. And what a day it has been in American history. First and foremost, the charlatans of the United States Senate Finance Committee, both Republicans and Democrats. We'll dive more into that as they grilled HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Bobby Kennedy is a good man, and we'll dive more into that as Ken Blackwell, the Secretary of State, the former Secretary of State of the Buckeye State of Ohio, really took to social media to try to find where Dr. Fear is. As Rand Paul stated and promised that if Republicans took the Senate, Anthony Fauci would finally be forced to answer for his lies. But today, Fauci is enjoying one of the most lucrative taxpayer-funded pensions in American history, estimated at $350,000 to $414,000, anywhere between those two numbers per year. It's more than the salary of the President of the United States. And may I remind you that President Donald Trump legally accepts $1 of his salary and gives the rest each and every quarter to a charity that's in most need. Now, on top of that, Fauci's net worth has ballooned to nearly $15 million, doubling during the pandemic years thanks to government pay, book deals, and speaking fees, while ordinary Americans simply lost everything. Let's be clear, Fauci's record of failure did not start with COVID. It stretches back for decades. In the 1980s, Fauci pushed AZT, a highly toxic drug, as the solution for HIV/AIDS, even as patients suffered devastating side effects. Now, he shut down promising alternatives in order to prop up big pharma. We saw some of that in the hearing today, where Pocahontas has taken $855,000 from Big Pharma, and she has the gall to lecture a good man such as Bobby Kennedy. Now, RFK Jr. has shown that this was not public health leadership. It was a disaster wrapped in arrogance and greed. Fauci's agency, NIAID, often held patents on the vaccines and drugs it promoted. And that means Fauci blurred the line between regulator and profiteer. Instead of being a watchdog for the American people, he became Big Pharma's most loyal salesman. For 40 years, his career has been about funneling billions of taxpayer dollars to pharmaceutical companies while silencing scientists who dare challenge him. And when COVID hit, Fauci doubled down on that same pattern of action. He helped fund dangerous gain-of-function research in Wuhan through EcoHealth, and that alliance despite the federal ban. Then he lied under oath about it. He admitted that the 6-foot social distancing rule was arbitrary, pulled out of thin air, that junk science destroyed millions of small businesses and wrecked America's economy. He pushed the mask mandates for children, even though the data did not support it. And remember all the yellow teeth? Remember how sick some of the children were when they went to the dentist, if they could get to a dentist during that time? Our kids are now years behind where they should be academically and are suffering from anxiety and depression. Dr. Fear continued to move the herd immunity goalposts again and again, openly admitting he did it to manipulate the public. That's not science, it's simply propaganda. And he mocked and censored the lab leak theory while secretly scrambling in private emails to protect himself and his allies. His own email showed he knew far more than he admitted, which is why he fought so hard to keep them hidden. He downplayed natural immunity. Yours truly, your humble correspondent, I had COVID once. It was November of 2020. I did not take the shot. I never had it since. So they lied about natural immunity. RFK Jr. was right in that hearing today. This pushed experimental mandates and helped create a culture of fear. Healthy people now face problems such as myocarditis, strokes, and other serious adverse reactions after taking a vaccine he swore was safe. I have friends in the grave because of the mRNA technology that those doctors who helped invent that spoke out against Dr. Fear, spoke to the truth and the connection to myocarditis. That was scoffed at by both Republicans and Democrats on the United States Senate Finance Committee today. How dare they have the gall and the audacity? It's because they're in the coffers and they're in bed with the lobbyists and Big Pharma. The proof is in the pudding. Dr. Fauci suppressed early treatments like hydrochloroquine and ivermectin, smearing doctors and patients who dared suggest them, all to make sure vaccines remained the only option. Now we backed lockdowns that closed churches, barred families from funerals, kept people out of the gym, and left those loved ones to die alone, especially those elderly who, God knows, at the time in those nursing homes could have had dementia, Alzheimer's, all the above. I mean, imagine the amount of fear they experienced as they passed on. Yet he enjoyed baseball games and fine dining without his own rules or following his own rules, much like Governor J.B. Pritzker going up to his horse farm and marching through the summer of love to project a fake narrative that was happening after the George Floyd riots. Now, RFK Jr. has also expressed how Fauci worked with tech companies and the media to silence dissent, censor debate, and smear anyone who questioned his authority. He did not defend the science, he crushed it. The result, more than 1 million Americans' lives lost. Millions of small businesses gone forever, children set back years, and public trust in science destroyed, and a nation more divided than ever. Now, Rand Paul told Fauci to his face, "You are lying to Congress." And the good senator from the Commonwealth of Kentucky was quite right about that. And yet, where's the accountability? Where are the subpoenas? Where are the prosecutions? Where is the justice for the families who lost loved ones, the business owners who lost everything, and the healthy people now living with heart conditions from a rushed vaccine? Republicans campaigned on accountability. The American people voted for it. I expect from the demon rats how they're going to conduct themselves. But again, what happened today with people like Tom Tillis, thank God he's retiring. Bill Cassidy, what an absolute joke. And sit there and lecture Robert F. Kennedy Jr. with the outstanding job that he's doing. Shame on you. The American people voted for transparency and still nothing. It's public destruction, it's corporate profiteering, and a trail of lies that stretches all the way back to the AIDS epidemic. Rand Paul lit the fire, and RFK Jr. exposed the full rot of our federal government. Now it's time for Rand Paul and the Republicans to finish the damn job. The American people are still waiting. And that's according to Ken Blackwell, the great former Secretary of State in Ohio. And we know the data was skewed. We know what happened over the course of the last 5 years. And again, for the U.S. Senate Finance Committee to be lecturing a great warrior, someone who really embodies what his uncle and his father fought for and ultimately died for in this country. Shame on those Republicans and Democrats on the Finance Committee, except for people like Ron Johnson, who really stood up and said, "We're sorry you're taking this smearing right now, Mr. Secretary. We're sorry that you have to sit down here and put up with this nonsense." But it seems to be a pattern of this with government failing the American people, whether it be state, local, federal. I was just listening to Dr. Gorka, a great assistant to President Trump, a great loyal ally, someone who has served in the halls of government and in private sector, making people's lives much better, a brilliant man. He was speaking to the Heritage Foundation recently. You want to know a really interesting fact? Over the course of the last 75 years of military members killed in action, this is post-World War II. So this is Korea, Vietnam, to Grenada, all the way to the Persian Gulf, to the Iraq War, to Afghanistan, and every engagement in between. Over the last 75 years, 103,000 souls have been lost, American personnel in those bloody, horrible, and questionable conflicts at times. Now, you could find this on the CDC website, mind you. It's hard to find. But over the second year of the Auto Penn administration, over an entire 1 year, 12-month period, 110,000 Americans' lives were lost by fentanyl poisoning and by unintended overdoses as a result of that drug trafficking. Think about that for a moment. Thank God President Trump and the great generals at the Pentagon took out the drug traffickers who were in the ocean coming from Venezuela to Miami. And to someone like Nicolas Maduro, you think you're a big guy? Bring it on. You are a narco-terrorist, and God willing, one day, the Venezuelan people will see freedom as they once did, an outstanding culture. And they will again have liberty and justice for all, and your reign of terror will come to an end with great leaders like President Trump and Vice President Vance at the helm of this. Now, again, we touched on this last week on The Voice of Reason. Over the course of a 13-year period, Chicago has the most murders in the United States. For a 7-year period, it's the highest murder rate of any city with over 1 million residents. That's 3 times higher than Los Angeles. It's also 5 times higher than New York. Double that of Islamabad, Pakistan. You have a 15 times more than New Delhi, India. And 870,000 plus violent crimes in the city of Chicago since January of this year. Only 16% of those have resulted in arrests. Oh, we're fortunate enough that some people are calling it out in the Windy City. And reporter William J. Kelly, he's been on the ground really peacefully and patriotically confronting Mayor Johnson, Governor J.B. Pritzker. And here is some footage of exactly what's happening and how bizarre this mayor is, only with a 6% approval rating, and how the city of Chicago needs the National Guard and needs new leadership who actually care about the lives of their citizens.
Thank you.
Yes, my follow-up to you is simply this. My follow-up to you is simply this. You're the one who's having panic attacks. You're the one who is not keeping the people of Chicago safe.
All right, we're going to go to the next question.
What do you say to Donald Trump? How did you feel when Donald Trump called you incompetent? What did you feel as a human?
He just addressed this. Thanks.
Please answer that question. Mayor Johnson, I apologize. A couple weeks ago, I asked you if you would cooperate with ICE if your wife Stacy's body was.
Hey, we just got to get to the question.
I'm making an apology, and
everyone else has questions, Stacey.
And if it was your wife Stacy's body that had been concealed and abused by Jose Luis Mendoza Gonzalez, the illegal alien, you said that you felt threatened by the question, that it scared you, and I do apologize. Over the weekend, President Trump said that you were incompetent, called you an incompetent mayor, called you an incompetent man. Almost on cue, 1,000 plus violent teenagers rampaged through your neighborhood, your adopted neighborhood of Austin that you and your wife Stacy moved into from Elgin, and assaulted police officers, multiple shootings. A woman was shot in the back multiple times who sadly passed. My question to you is simply this. Do you, your neighbors in Austin do contact me, and they tell me that they don't feel threatened by my questions. They feel threatened by your anti-curfew policies that are leading to these out-of-control violent teenagers murdering people.
Thanks, man.
What do you say to your neighbors? What do you say to those neighbors in Austin who feel threatened by your policies?
Thank you for staying awake during our presentation. I know you have worked hard to get the necessary help that's needed.
Really?
And whatever condition in which that you are dealing with, I'm glad that you are getting some help. So that means a lot.
Is that honestly your answer to your neighbors who have been, a neighbor of yours was shot in the back multiple times?
And so we are addressing community safety. That's my top priority, and we will continue to do that.
You're
Thank
the,
you.
excuse,
Thank
yes,
you,
my
Lynn.
follow-up to you
We're gonna
is
go to
simply
Justin
this.
here. Thank
My
you.
follow-up to you
Thank
is
you.
simply this. You're the one
Thank
who's
you.
having
Let's
panic
move on,
attacks.
please.
All right.
You're the
Thank you,
one
Lynn.
who is not keeping the people of Chicago safe.
All right, we're going to go to the next question.
What do you say to Donald Trump? How did you feel when Donald Trump called you incompetent? What did you feel as a
He
human?
just addressed this. Thanks.
Please answer that question, if you would.
Okay, fine. Since you are begging, I do believe that Donald Trump is.
On behalf of the people of
I think
Chicago,
you're
I do
begging.
ask
So
questions.
So
That
let me
is
just
true.
answer that. I do appreciate you begging. So I would just say it like this, that the president has always been intimidated by the intellectual prowess of black men. And so, of course, he would speak in those petite and puerile terms because he's small.
Thank you to Chicago reporter, independent journalist William J. Kelly. We hope to have him on the show very soon to dive more on what he's doing, literally God's work in the city of Chicago. Someone who's run for office as well, a great citizen servant. And again, thank you to William J. Kelly. You can see their reporter, williamjkelly.com, to find all of his great work throughout social media. And you have to love how they go right to racism, the Democrats. So, I mean, President Trump is truly the least racist person out there. You can like his policies, you can hate his policies. The man loves this country and what he's been through in order to deal with the lawfare, to the Russia hoax, to attempted assassinations, among the stress his family's been put under. Let's just put the Washington, D.C. crackdown into perspective here. 1,761 arrests since home rule came into being. Mayor Muriel Bowser doing a 180, saying, President Trump, thank you for getting involved in helping the municipality in the federal city. 195 total illegal firearms seized, 92 arrests last night, and 27 illegal firearms seized just last night. And this is dating back to when this happened a couple of weeks ago. Nearly zero homicides. It's the safest place in America right now of big cities. Amazing. I know this is a tough topic, voice of reason tonight. So we're going to have some fun as well. And we had the opportunity to do a little man on the street last week to dive into that Auburn and Baylor game last Friday, resulting in the Auburn Tigers winning 38-24. I think what you love about this, the predictions were pretty close, and we had some fun with it on Tumors Corner, on the corner of College and Magnolia, the place you have to visit if you come down here to the friendliest village on the plains. Mr. Director, let's show the audience what we caught. We're live from College and Magnolia here outside of Tumors Corner, where you can get the souvenir soda fountains, and it's a great time. You have to get a lemonade while you're here. Auburn, Alabama, of course, home to Auburn University and Right Side Broadcasting Network. But welcome to RSBN Sports, as it's the first game tonight. Auburn University taking on Baylor in the great state, the Lone Star State of Texas, in fact. But let's go out here and talk to some of the people, see what they have thoughts on music, culture, sports, the whole 9 yards. Let's go. So what's even great about Auburn University and the hospitality of the loveliest village on the plains, it's the out-of-towners. So where are you from, and what are you most excited about on this rainy day in Auburn, Alabama?
So we're from Chicago.
Oh my gosh, I'm from Chicago.
Stop.
No way.
True story.
Yeah, we just came to, I have a golf tournament out in Columbus, Georgia, so we came to just check out the university.
You know that, I'm from the Glen Ellyn, Wheaton area, the west of the city. Of course, you know, Robert McCormick, so the great history at the military, Chicago Tribune, also golf, Cantini, a great course out there. So people don't realize down south here, although there's so much golf around here, Robert Trent Jones highlights with some courses in this area and within Georgia as well, Bobby Jones. Illinois, although you get 6 months of really bad weather a year, it's a big golf place. So are you coming down here to check out, maybe going to school at Auburn University?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I've heard they have like a top 15 golf team. They won the national championship 2 years ago, so we'll see. I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited to check out the university.
And father-son, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yes, we are. Yeah, he's much better golfer than I am. So, just here to support and pay the bill. So,
It's an expensive game, but it's something that really you need to go forward with, whether it's business or just if you look to do it professionally or even in college as well. How about the thoughts on the Tour Championship that just happened? What a great season of golf we had.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who's sponsoring the tournament I'm playing, Russell Henley, just got T2 there. So that was exciting to see. Tommy Fleetwood got his first win, but hopefully he can bring in more this upcoming season.
And Russell, a great Georgia grad. We have to say that quietly here on Auburn's campus. But what's the difference now? I mean, you're from Chicago. You've been down south here. What's the biggest difference you see between Auburn, Alabama, and Chicago, Illinois?
oh man, I would say the food's been great. I mean, Chicago in and of itself has great food, but I mean, we certainly found some really cool eclectic spots to eat at in the last few days, and so. Hey, that speaks to us. A good college town with good food. I mean, that's awesome. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I would agree with him. Yeah.
Have you had the Tumors Corner lemonade yet?
Oh man, we have not. Is that in here?
That's right in there. This is the most famous spot, perhaps on all of the college campus. Corner of College and Magnolia. It's Tumors Corner. You walk in the doors like going back into Greece or something. It's like the 1950s, that diner scene maybe out of something like Back to the Future. But thanks for joining us today, and best of luck with the golf. And any predictions tonight on the Auburn-Baylor game before we let you go?
Well, Baylor had a tough season last year, so I think Auburn 35, Baylor 7.
All right. I like that. Dad, what do you think?
Hey, I'm not going to disagree. He's on a hot streak, so I'll keep it going. Yeah.
Guys, well, enjoy your trip. Enjoy your Labor Day. Have a great weekend. Absolutely. We're talking about the opening season of football, and it is Auburn and Baylor. Where are the score predictions tonight, my friend?
Let me go. I'm going to go with Baylor 14. I'm going to go with Auburn 21. We're going to
have a nice close competition, and for your lovely lady here, what is the prediction?
I'll say the same thing.
Okay, that's the couple that sticks together at Auburn, stays together with their football scores. No question about that. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Absolutely. This is the lemonade I'm talking about. So, sir, and I'm assuming daughter,
That's right. That's my daughter.
are you ready for football season, ready for all that Auburn University has to offer?
We are so excited about football season. We've been waiting, 8 months for football season? We're excited.
I know, me too. This is my favorite time of year leading up to the holidays. It's Labor Day weekend. Is a family vacation here in Auburn University, or are we going to watch the game tonight? It's Auburn Tigers and the Baylor Bears in the great state of Texas. We got to give them a little Alabama thunder and what this great state is all about.
Oh, we love Auburn. We're actually from Louisiana.
Okay.
But my sister over here, she married this nice gentleman here from Auburn, and now Auburn is like our second home, I
Right.
guess.
The best people really live in Auburn, and you can find people from all over the country, all over the world. I'm a Chicago exile myself, and I can't imagine. I don't know how long. Why did I live in that snow and that crazy, insane? Well, we know what's going on there. We're having a good time down south. Exactly, the Windy City.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Define that for many reasons. But tell us about Tumors Corner and why this lemonade is the best in the country.
Well, you just have to try it, and then you'll understand. But yeah, I mean, this is my first time having it, and I got to say, it is delicious. They've got so many flavors. This is mango. They got strawberry. She got a blue raspberry. So you can have it regular on ice. You can have it frozen. It's wonderful, though. Highly recommend it.
And it's almost old school. It's like you're going back in time. It's almost like the set of Back to the Future, just enjoying that old diner mentality. And some of the best gear for Auburn University. I bought my hat right here at Tumors Corner. So it's a family affair. We have any Auburn University alum in the group? All right. War Eagle. Absolutely. Come on in. Tell us. Oh, we got Baby Eagle. Okay. Eagle. I like that. Usually find them up north, but they come down here for the games this time of year. So how long are you going to be in town, and what's the prediction on the score? I need a score tonight. We need a Calci.com guess on what the score will be between the Tigers and the Bears.
35-24 Auburn.
Okay, I like that. That's a good prediction.
32-0.
Okay, 32. Yeah, that's a big one. It's almost like Mizzou and Central Arkansas, that kind of score. We'll get back to you in the studio, but thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. War Eagle.
So the beautiful thing about this season at Auburn University, as you can see, the students are going diagonal now on College and Magnolia. So a new feature, if you're coming in for game day, you can walk diagonally. It's a nice something to do while you're out enjoying your Tigers. War Eagle. All right, we're with Ava and B. We're on the College and Magnolia Corner as well. You know, right by Tumors Corner, we can get some lemonade and stuff. But the loveliest village of the Plains, they always have the prettiest girls on this college campus. So tell us about your Auburn experience and what are you excited most about with football season?
It's been really fun. We've been here for, 3 weeks now. I feel like I've met a lot of nice people, and I'm really excited for the game tonight.
I'm also super excited for game days because we're both from the north, so we've never really experienced like SEC football, so we're super excited for that.
I'm a Northern exile as well, so where'd you come from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Okay, great, beautiful place. They apparently have the best pizza. Now, I'm from Chicago. I mean, that's some great pizza, but convince me, why should we visit Connecticut?
I had pizza, the New Haven pizza, right before I left, actually. It was really good.
It's really good. It's the best pizza you'll get anywhere.
And what differentiates it from like a New York style or even a Chicago style?
I've never had New York pizza.
I feel like the crust is different.
Yeah. New York pizza is probably a waste of time anyway, not to insult anyone on this show, but that's what's cool about Auburn. You know, we're talking to locals. We're also talking to great ladies like yourselves who come down from Connecticut to go to school here because in the SEC it just matters more. So what are you looking most forward to? Are you freshmen?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's a big time for life, and to think about 4 years is going to really shape your career here. So what ended up having you choose the great Auburn University?
I wanted a school with a lot of school spirit, and we don't really have that in the north.
Right.
That's the same with me. I wanted school spirit, and I came here, and everyone was so sweet, so I knew it was the place for me.
Is there a chant right now the two of you can do that you just learned in the last 3 weeks before the game tonight between Auburn and Baylor?
I haven't learned anything. I'm not prepared for this game.
Still in the process, but that's okay. Are there any politics that you pay attention to, you young ladies? I know it's freshman year, there's a lot going on, but we have an interesting 2026 coming up, 2028. What is the theme on campus that people are talking about?
I haven't heard politics here yet.
Me neither, and I'm just kind of keeping like an open mind with everything, and I don't know.
It's probably very healthy as we go into what's going to be a great night of football, Auburn and Baylor tonight. Thanks for your time, and enjoy your freshman year.
Thank you.
And as the great vehicles go down this beautiful campus, the architecture is simply phenomenal with Sanford Hall just down the way. A beautiful view for these students as they're getting ready for the school year. Well, heck, they're already in the school year, but football starts right now. Here at Auburn University with two handsome gentlemen. You ready for football season?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what are we going to do tonight? It's Auburn and Baylor in the great state of Texas.
We're watching the football game at the apartment.
At the apartment. Okay, not going out tonight?
No, we're not. We're staying in watching it.
All right.
It's going to be fun.
Okay, what are you thinking about our season? How are our Tigers going to last War Eagle style against everyone in the SEC?
I think we're winning every game.
Same. There's no way we lose a single game.
Oh, I know, right? That's the way to do it. It seems like now, at least you have the 12-team playoff, right? So you can maybe afford one loss or two, but it's kind of crazy the way NIL is. What are your thoughts on that?
I like the NIL deals. I like that we can pay better players to come here. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Hey, that works with that. But I got a question for you guys here, too. Can you identify who this is by chance?
Yeah, I'm going to have to send this over to my...
Yeah, so I have also no idea who that is.
How about this guy right here?
Never seen him in my life.
All right, so what do we do now as students at Auburn University? What is the go-to? Like, if there's someone new to the campus, what are they to visit to see, and what are the activities they can be involved with here at this great university?
I love basketball. I love the rec. Yeah. I love playing basketball at the rec. I'm going to be honest. That's where I spend most of my time, other than classes, I guess.
I mean, Bruce Pearl, a big fan of ours and a big friend.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not personally, but...
Right. Well, I was saying for us, but...
I mean, I like to spend time outdoors. As you can tell, we just left Sanford Lawn. It's a beautiful place to be. Spend time after class, picnics, just eating food. But I don't know, it's great. And then we've got Tumors Corner here with the lemonade. So I don't know, we've got a great culture. It's a great home. And I'm actually from Auburn, so I've been here my whole life, but I've loved it every second I've been here.
A hometown guy. How about yourself?
Yeah. Hometown as well. We went to high school together.
I love that. That's awesome. That's what's so cool about Auburn, Alabama. It's the loveliest village on the plains. I'll let you guys get dry, enjoy the weekend, and enjoy some football. Thank you. A splendid time on the corner of College and Magnolia, really in the downtown of Auburn, Alabama. Auburn University, home to Right Side Broadcasting Network, right down the street. We love the students here. We love the community, and it's wonderful to be part of it. And that's just part one of a lot of footage we got, and we'll showcase that fall semester and everything that involves not only football, but how these great students are doing, our future leaders, those learning and making a wonderful difference on a daily basis in the loveliest village on the plains. So give us your thoughts on football season as we dive into the National Football League and all things that revolve around sports. Feedback at rsbn.tv. That's feedback at rsbn.tv. And let us know what you'd like to hear for everyone here in Auburn, Alabama, but also your neck of the woods. If there's always a story or something that's perplexing where you live, feel free to reach out to us here at Right Side Broadcasting Network at, again, feedback at rsbn.tv, feedback at rsbn.tv. And I have to say that I'm so proud of our Vice President of the United States and Second Lady Usha Vance going to Minneapolis, Minnesota to honor the lives of those lost from a psychotic transgender killer, something that should have never happened. We need insane asylums back, as the Vice President has said. As much of a fan as he was of President Ronald Reagan, as your humble correspondent is, it was a major failure of the administration getting rid of those facilities. We need to bring those back, among other things. Calling them out when you see mental illness and handling those situations here in America. But he also stepped to the plate today with that ridiculous hearing stating that when I see the senators trying to lecture and gotcha Bobby Kennedy today, all I can think is you all support off-label, untested, and irreversible hormonal therapies for children. It's mutilating our kids and enriching Big Pharma. You're full of shit, and everyone knows it. And I'll say it here on the network as I got a big smile from my friend, Bert Minor, the new chairman of the Fayette County Republican Party in the great peach state of Georgia. My friend, Georgia is on my mind. Tell us what's going on with the first annual Red Gala scheduled for October 3rd.
Hey, Bobby McNeily, my dear friend from way, way long time ago. I appreciate you having me come on and give you some political wonderful news about Fayette County having a Red Gala for the first time ever. And that's going to be in Peachtree City on October 3rd at the Crown Plaza Hotel. It's been an interesting thing. We've been working on this for about 7 months. It's been tough to get political people to come to it and schedule it in that far in advance. In the last 3 days, we've got some great guests coming now. My favorite, as I think, is the rock star of the Republican Party, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She confirmed yesterday. She is one of my most favorite dynamos in the Republican Party. I think, like I said, she's a rock star. So she has signed on to be with us. Congressman Buddy Carter signed on with us today to be there. And then we also have our own congressman from this district, Brian Jack. An interesting way to have Congressman Brian Jack is your audience probably recognizes that J.D. Vance, a guy who's playing in the White House with a guy named Donald Trump, our vice president, appeared. Almost overnight, we heard, hey, we got the Vice President J.D. Vance coming down here in Peachtree City. Can everybody come and meet him? And it was over at Alpha Refrigeration in Peachtree City. And I'm like, why is the Vice President coming here? How did he pick Peachtree City and the refrigeration place? And I had gone there. And Bobby, you were there broadcasting. And I was just like, holy cow. In just a few hours, Congressman Brian Jack, who used to work with President Trump in the first round before he became a congressman 8 months ago, he got Kelly Loeffler there. He got the Zedin, who is the Secretary of Energy, right? There, he had 7 congressmen. He had Burt Jones, our lieutenant governor, and I was like, wow. But the reason I bring that up is that when I called the owner of the refrigeration place says, "How did you get this guy there? How did you get the vice president there? I'm having trouble just trying to get the phone number to the White House without anyone answering." He says, "Well, it's an interesting, fun story." He says, "I'll tell you what. I'll be a diamond sponsor for you, and I'll allow, if you would, that Brian, Jack, and I can have a fireside chat for 15, 20 minutes, and we'll tell you a funny story of how that all worked and came together." I was glued, and I really wanted to hear that and see that. So he's number one on my list to be there at our gala. So if I'm interesting anybody, I don't know if Bobby's got the card up there, but yeah, if you don't, there's our card and our
there you go.
our code. Click into there. We're hoping to have 500 people visit. We're just going past 200 at this time, and it's going to be a good event. It's also, we're honoring our veterans as well. We actually, for the end of the evening, we have a prisoner of war from Vietnam there, and he was in the Hanoi Hilton for 9 months. Anyone doesn't know, the Hanoi Hilton was not a good place to be. That was a horrific prisoner of war camp that one of our favorite senators, John McCain, was in for a long time and tortured tremendously. So this gentleman, I believe, is 95 years old, and we're giving him a special presentation at the end of the night because Veterans Day is just 1 month away, is what we're looking at there for the October 3rd. Am I talking too fast, or Bobby?
No, thank you. No, Burge, it's great because this is all about the grassroots. It's about making sure Georgia remains red. I mean, we saw it dating back our friendship, our history, going back to DuPage County, Illinois, and Chicago politics. And my goodness, what a journey that was. But we saw our beloved county that was red for, what, nearly a century? I mean, the home, you could argue, of abolitionist movements. Right.
I mean, republicanism in the country.
Right.
And now it's deep, deep, deep blue. And we saw the disgusting way that it got taken over, specifically with Chicago's politics coming over and expanding into our county. And that's what we're having happening here in Georgia as Atlanta, Savannah, Columbus are moving out into the areas. We're one of the top 10 counties in Georgia that you have to win to become the U.S. Senator, to become the president. President Trump won our county by 2,000 votes only. 2,000 votes only. I say only, it's still a win, but we used to be the big, a huge difference between it. The Democrats on their webpage show that they will surpass us this November and be the primary party here in Fayette County. And if anyone doesn't know where Fayette County is, we're 20 miles south of Fulton County. It's huge. And so what we have to do here is we do a great door knocking campaign. The group has been very, very proud of that effort. Well, in the meantime, then the Democrats went in and bought the electronic billboards. Those are $4,000 to $8,000 a month for those, and they just beat the living, the dog out of the Republican Party. In fact, they had a lot of MTG anti-campaigns up there, and I said, why aren't the Republican Party doing it? Oh, we don't have the money to counter that. We don't have the money to counter that. Now, what we didn't have is we didn't have a playbook. We didn't have the funds available. We didn't put things in place to try to get things accomplished. So my hope is that this gala could raise somewhere between $60,000 and $100,000. I'm falling short of this right now, but with just Marjorie Taylor Greene jumping on, and of course Buddy Carter, who he was the key person getting the Lakin Riley bill passed. We do expect to have Congressman Collins to be there as well, and of course our Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones as well. If you come to our gala, well, first of all, we're going to help us raise money so that we can really get ready for the midterms, which is next November. Right now, we're all having the municipal elections here in Georgia, and we got Tyrone, we got Peachtree City, and we got Fayetteville, and we are helping with that as much as we can. We have 34 precincts here. But hoping to raise this amount of money and then having our second gala next year, we hope to be raising the money to take care of those electronic billboards, to take care of social media, which everybody right now is being inundated. In Georgia, I see 500 Burt Jones ones every 10 minutes, and also the Attorney General Carr as well. Then a lot of Buddy Carter and Congressman Collins as is going there. Money talks.
Yes, and Bert, I'm thrilled that you're leading and heading all of this up because it was 1992, the last time another young sitting Republican Vice President Dan Quayle visited Fayette County. It took 33 years until that happened again. And you have to have the mentality of organizing from the ground up, from the fundraising to the door knocking to the phone calls. It still matters. And then having a little spice of social media. But I'm absolutely thrilled for this night. So it's October 3rd. It's a Friday. And with that QR code there, how can people sign up and enjoy what's going to be truly a star-studded evening in the Peach State?
Oh, thank you, Bobby. There's someone else that's drawing people to come to us. I found this MC. This guy's a professional MC. He's got an operatic voice that I heard him sing the national anthem one time. I was like, who is this kid? That's our lovely commentator, Bobby McNeily. You haven't seen him in action, and he does a fantastic Donald Trump as well. So I asked Bobby, my friend, I said, Bobby, could you come and be our MC? And you're getting more notoriety than maybe even Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. But if you hit this QR code and go to the Fayette County Republican Party website, and you'll see the Red Gala. You can purchase your tickets on there as well, and click that. If you have any questions, anyone here can give me a call. Not that anyone's going to see that, but my phone number is there, 630-674-9096. The evening is going to be really cool. We have like 10 other people are going to be there. An Air Force friend of mine, a guy named Calvin King. Some people may have heard of him. He ran for a U.S. Senator against Herschel Walker almost 4 years ago, I suppose that was. He's an Air Force Academy grad, a business acumen in Atlanta, and now he's running for Secretary of State. Because, of course, we love our current Secretary of State. It's an interesting quagmire there. I believe the fact that if Reagan's 11th commandment, thou shalt never speak ill of another Republican. And that's been my mantra for quite a bit of time. But Kelvin King will be there. State Senator Trammell will be there, I believe is his name. He's running for lieutenant governor. We got Reagan Botts who's going to be there. She's running for U.S. Senator. I had a great conversation with her recently. And, we'll give them chances to speak and do it. But you're going to be able to meet these folks. You'll be able to get photographs done with them. You're going to be able to dance the night away afterwards. We have a great DJ that's there. I had an actual live Beatles tribute band, but we're like, there's just no way we can allow them to play as long as we really want to. But we have those. Another interesting thing we're doing is that every time I go to one of these events, all the politicians hug and talk to each other, and they never talk to us, the individuals that paid to be at the event and to hear what are we thinking. So we're not allowing that. Anytime it happens, my whole committee will be pulling them away. Bobby's going to walk right in between them, put the microphone and say, hey, the MC says you can't do this. But what we're doing is, for like an hour of the time, we're having a speed dating with the politicians that are there. So we're going to set up a clock about every 7 minutes. The politician at that table has to get up and move to the next table and vice versa. So you're going to get a chance to meet Marjorie Taylor Greene. You might be sitting next to her. I'm trying to get the first dance with her, but I'm 6'2" and she's 5'2", and my wife said, no, that ain't happening. I don't know if, of course, the lovely congressman would be doing that. But it's going to be a fun night. And like-minded people there together. If you don't have fun, it's your fault. The ticket price is $125. It's costing us $70 per person just for the food and beverages as we're doing this. So we are making about $50 as a profit to go into our coffers. And we're having door prizes. We have a gun raffle. We have a 9mm handgun that's going to be up. It's $20 for tickets for those. We have several beach houses, one in Costa Rica, one in Florida, and one in Carolina, as well as Braves Delta seats, which aren't too good right now. But next year you can use that and see it go. Being a Chicago Cubs fan, I'm like, here we go. The only time I've rooted against the Braves in a while was the last 5 days.
Well, our Chicago Cubs are coming to town next week, so that'll be exciting to watch as they make their push to the playoffs. Bert Miner, the Fayette County Republican Party, the first annual Red Gala. It's October 3rd, 2025, a Friday night. And let me tell you from personal experience, if Burt Minor is running the show, it's going to be fun. So it's not your typical curmudgeon, somewhat of a political event. It is making a difference in the community and having fun while meeting neighbors and those who are those public servants who are elected to represent us. So our dear thanks to you, Mr. Burt Minor. Thanks for joining us here on The Voice of Reason.
God bless you, Bobby McNeily. Love you, my friend. Take care.
Yes, sir. God bless you. Love you too. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And with all the exciting things happening in politics leading up to 2026, this is my challenge for you this week. What can you do to make your community better? Can you be the one to run for city council? Can you run for that school board? Are you perhaps ready for a state rep or a state senate run, or maybe United States Congress? Because it's what our founders envisioned, this to be a rotating door of service, neighbor serving neighbor. I mean, you have the fact that this week alone, the senator from Virginia, Tim Kaine, 2016 Democrat candidate for vice president under crooked Hillary Clinton, saying that your rights come from the state. Nothing could be further from the truth. And Senator Ted Cruz, thanks be to God for him, the Lone Star State of Texas, setting that record straight, saying, Mr. Chairman, I walked into this committee hearing and I'm hearing that you get your rights from the state. No, it's from God. That's what the founders intended. But sadly, there's few and far between. And I hate to keep going back to the hearing today that United States Senate Finance Committee, we'll dive more into that in the live desk as well. But the fact that you have these senators that want the 15 seconds of fame. They want to hear themselves speak. They want to lambaste a great public servant like Bobby Kennedy Jr. And whether it's Tom Tillis in North Carolina, to Bill Cassidy in Louisiana, Senator Bernie Sanders all the way up in Vermont, to Pocahontas. Oh, and don't even get me started on Michael Bennett in Colorado. He sounds like a South Park character. It's easy, okay? He literally sounds like that. And he's scolding this great public leader, this servant, RFK Jr., on falsehoods and making wild accusations, all while they're calling him the charlatan. No, they are the charlatans. But thank God there's Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin or Senator Marsha Blackburn of the volunteer state of Tennessee, because without them, you would not have common sense. But sadly, only a few people really serving Congress appropriately. So think about that as you go into next year. What campaign can you help out? Can you make yourself available in and around Georgia, Fayette County, Georgia? Again, October 3rd, Friday night, will be star-studded. And with Mr. Burt Minor chairing the festivities, I'm telling you, we go way back to those Chicagoland political days, and it's good to have people who know how to organize, who know how to make it fun, who care about their neighbors, who have served in our military, as Burt Minor, a veteran as well. It's an exciting time to take back our government, as you did almost 1 year ago now. Think about that, November 5th, 2024. You peacefully and patriotically took back our country and made it constitutional governance, the law of the land once again. And I know I'm grateful for President Trump because, as Ken Blackwell actually recently pointed out, in fact, today, not only speaking out on where Dr. Fear is, Dr. Birx, and those who threw out a COVID hoax, but defending this president. And this picture is not just of a man, it's a president who has sacrificed everything he had to save the nation he loves. Donald John Trump did not need the power, the paycheck, or the punishment. He had a built of life of success and comfort. He created it all. But when America was in decline, when our borders were broken, our military weakened, our workers betrayed, and our freedoms eroded, he answered that call. And for that, the swamp unleashed hell on him. We still see it on a daily basis with judges that are usurping the authority of the executive branch of the office of the United States. They impeached him twice. They tried to destroy him. They indicted him. They investigated him. They smeared his family, and they attacked his faith. And now they openly mock the attempts on his life, and they cheer for his health to fail. They laugh at the thought of him suffering. And we'll get on to more of the former Secretary of State, Ken Blackwell of the Buckeye State of Ohio, in a moment, as we're joined by great fantasy football commentator Adam Keller, and I'm sad to say a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Voice of Reason.
What's going on, Bobby? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Who's that handsome gentleman on your shoulder?
So we got your nephew, Mako. He's wearing his Tampa jersey, as you can see. Say hi to Uncle Bobby. Say hi.
He has got a personality that is unlike any other, and I know that he might be impersonating Chewbacca come Halloween. But we see that beautiful trophy next to you, Commissioner Keller. What are your thoughts on fantasy football? Can you give us a prognosis for the season? And in case anyone has not made their picks, there's a game tonight. How can all league managers and captains make those decisions?
Yeah, it's a great day. Football is finally back. The NFL is back. We've been waiting several hundred days for this now. Before I get into it, I just want to say thank you again for having me on. I'm a big fan of your show. I love what you're doing with this network. I love what you're doing with the show. I want more people to be able to tune in to see you because you are a patriot unlike anybody else that I was ever seen before. Kimmel is about to take notes, and I know that you wanted to hear me say that because you love him. But so this trophy is mine currently. It's been mine for the past 2 years. You've not really done much to take it from me, even though you kind of intimidated me yesterday on your broadcast. But the trophy, the prediction is staying right here in Georgia, in Cumming, Georgia. In fact, I got 2 names to prove it to you right there. It's got Adam and Adam, back-to-back champion. So I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. So that by the time, week 2 or week 3 rolls around and you're scrambling, going to the waiver wire, trying to figure out what to do, I'll just point out our draft board so I can show you where you went wrong this season. But no, it's gonna be a fun season. You drafted fairly well. You got a good team behind you. I think the one player that's going to make the difference this season, if you're in a league like ours that has defensive players, an IDP league, is Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter has the unique designation of both wide receiver and cornerback, which means you can slot him in to that defensive position that you have in an IDP league. So essentially, all the points that he's going to rack up as a wide receiver, it's going to go towards that. So you essentially got an extra flex spot in your lineup there. And no one else was able to really see that, which is why I was able to draft him without anybody taking him out from underneath me. So I think he's going to make a big difference this season. I know everybody gave me a bunch of toughness for drafting Dak Prescott like I did last year, but I think this year is actually going to be a bounce back year for him. They just lost Micah Parsons, the Cowboys did. So I think the defense is going to have a little bit of a game to step up. We'll see tonight how that shakes out. But what I think that translates ultimately to is that the Cowboys offense are going to be in a bunch of shootout games. Dak's going to have to throw it a lot more. So we're going to be racking up points with him for that. There's a host of other names that are going to be good this year. I think Bucky Irving is going to have a great season. That's not just me saying that because I'm a Tampa Bay fan. I think he jukes like nothing else. Like he takes people's ankles on the field left and right. And I'm looking at your team right now. I don't think you got too many other players that are going to be too difficult for me. But I love the fact that this season we got the head coach position now. And for a lot of those that are like, how do you throw in a head coach? They don't play. I love what we did with this just to make every season a little bit differently. We added in a head coach position. And the way that works is essentially an overall team win or an overall team loss. So if you picked the Packers, which as a Chicago Bears fan, I don't know how you're able to stomach yourself and live with yourself with that pick, but you picked the Packers head coach. And so if the Packers win a game, you'll get an extra 5 points. If they lose the game, you'll lose 5 points. And then if they blow out their opponent by 25 points or more, you'll get an extra 2 point bonus. So ultimately, it can lead to a 7 point swing either way. But most of the time, it's most likely going to be a 5 point swing. So I'm excited to see how that shakes out for us this season. I'm excited to see how long it takes you to start calling me up for more fantasy advice, for some help with your lineup. But ultimately, I think you got a good team. I think we got some other good guys. We got a lot of tough teams in this league. We got a 12-person league. The league almost didn't happen this year. And at the last minute, everyone's like, yeah, we're coming back. We're doing it together. And I'm glad to have you a part of it. I'm glad that we're able to make this happen for each other.
Well, the peer pressure I would have applied on the league members would have been like hell freezing over. So I'm looking forward to that beautiful trophy that you have next to your right shoulder over my right shoulder and being showcased on the Voice of Reason very soon. As you were so wonderful in gifting me with the eagle behind us that states, "They that wait upon the Lord shall mount up with wings as eagles." And that beautiful biblical verse, a great reminder to soar and fly, eagles fly. What I'm really getting at tonight, Adam, Commissioner Keller, it's Eagles and Cowboys. What is your selection as NFL football kicks off? It's now a based league. When we went through COVID, we went through the kneeling. It seems like Roger Goodell realized that it's great American patriots who watch this game, and you know how I feel about the real winners tonight between both. I want your take on this. But for me, it's the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders that win tonight.
Yeah, my wife and I were just watching America's Sweetheart, so we're very much in tune with the America's Sweetheart Dallas Cowboy cheerleader team. I think they're ultimately going to be the winner. No, I don't care really much for either team, to be quite frank and quite honest. I've never really been able to get onto the Philly bandwagon, obviously as a Bucs fan, but I certainly don't have it in my heart for the Dallas Cowboys. They were the ones that ultimately retired Tom Brady, and that was not a fun game to watch, nor have they been a fun team to play against, just because it really is a shootout most of the time, and I don't necessarily like how it typically ends. But if I had to pick a team tonight, I do think that I'm going to be rolling with the Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the score is going to be anywhere from, I think, Eagles 27 and Cowboys 21. I'm going to go with that. And then as far as, I know you do winners and losers, because like I said, I'm a big fan of your show. I know you do winners and losers every week. I think the winners tonight are going to be America, honestly, because of two main reasons. The first and the most obvious, football is back. This is what America has been waiting for. This is what my wife has not been waiting for, because I would normally send in my resignation as a husband for the next, few months. But being that we have a kid on the way, I can't really do that. I have to hang back and make sure that I'm with her as equal time. And I'm happy to do that. She's the best. I love her to death. The other reason why America is the winner tonight is the Chiefs are not playing tonight. And I think the Chiefs have just become an overrated team. Like, they're the Patriots of old when everyone's just tired of seeing them. But I think Taylor Swift has a hand to play in all that. So the fact that we won't see her or Patrick Mahomes tonight, and we just get to see some old school tough football between two other good teams, I think that is ultimately what makes America the winner of this week.
It's a beautiful thing, because I think there's no more breakup songs by Miss Swift, but we'll see what the future holds. As President Trump said, we wish them well, as I wish you well. The dear commissioner, a great husband, soon-to-be father, expert on fantasy football, and the biggest Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan I think I know this side of the Mississippi, which makes sense. We're on the right part of the country for all that. Adam, you're also a great graphic designer as well. Can you share with the good people your website, your company, and perhaps where we can find you in case people are in need of your designs?
Yeah, sure. So my company is Custom Shark Studios. You can go to customsharkstudios.com. There's a form to fill out if you're interested, if you have graphic design needs. Most of what I do is print-based design. I've been in marketing for about 7.5 years. Currently a creative director for a knife company out of Baltimore. And so you can go to customsharkstudios.com. I am the chief mover of pixels at Custom Shark Studios. And you've been a tremendous friend in helping me accomplish that. And now, as far as getting back to you immediately, it depends on when the kid arrives, when the baby comes. So, if you have any requests, get them in now so that we can get you logged into the queue and we can take care of you.
Well, it's a wonderful time in life, a beautiful season, and America is truly back. Commissioner Keller, thank you for joining us today with your NFL predictions and your fantasy football expertise. And I know I'll see you soon, but I hope it's right here on the Voice of Reason.
I'm so glad to have been here. Thank you so much, Bobby. As far as the last final bold prediction, I have to do it. I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be this year's Super Bowl champions, and I cannot wait to host you at our house for that Super Bowl party where I get to say, "We told you so." Go Bucks, baby.
Boom! It's almost like John Madden making a prediction right there. Commissioner Keller, thank you for joining us again. Adam Keller with Custom Shark, and also great predictions as a fantasy football commentator and expert. It's going to be a great season. We'll see you soon, my friend.
See you soon, Bobby. Thank you.
And that's what the Voice of Reason truly is all about. It's about friends coming together, breaking bread, and talking about the things that matter in the nation's capital, the federal city, but also outside the Beltway, and the culture. And tonight, football, it's back. The National Football League is a great time of year, is it not? It's great to be in the loveliest village on the plains and to showcase what is making America great again. And just to highlight once again the words of Ken Blackwell, really articulating deeply why President Trump is the man for this mission. Think about all of this. The very people who claim to be tolerant and compassionate wish death on a man whose only crime was fighting to put America first. That tells you everything you need to know about who they are. But despite it all, despite the bullets, the threats, the hatreds, the 2 impeachments, he never backed down. Twice they tried to remove him, and twice he was acquitted. He stood stronger each time. He fought to make our military strong again. He stood up for innocent life. He cut taxes, rebuilt the economy, and restored American pride. He gave voice to the forgotten men and women of this great country who had been ignored for far too long. This is what true courage looks like. A man who takes the arrows, the insults, the impeachments, and the attacks, and keeps standing tall. A man who puts country over comfort. A man who believes that America is still worth saving no matter the cost. So when they mock him, remember, it is not really him they are mocking. It is us. It is everyone who believes in faith, family, freedom, and the greatness of this country. Thank you, God, for giving us a president who will not quit no matter how much evil is done and thrown his way. And may God continue to protect him, because the fight for America's future is far from over. God bless President Trump. God bless this movement, and God bless the United States of America. And God bless you, Ken Blackwell, former Secretary of State of the Buckeye State of Ohio. Ohio puts out some great leaders, and Ken is one of those gentlemen. And we saw that today with that ridiculous United States Finance Committee hearing to try to create sound bites and to push against the great reforms happening at the CDC and Health and Human Services, and their complete rejection and ignorance of the mRNA vaccines, the research that went into that led to myocarditis. And how many times did Bobby Kennedy have to say he believes President Trump should win the Nobel Peace Prize for Operation Warp Speed? And then Tom Tillis has the gall, a Republican from North Carolina, to say that, I'm not sure I got quite an answer here, so I'd like a full answer from your office. No, Mr. Kennedy was very clear. The good secretary was honest, forthright, and speaking truth to power. Those numbers were so skewed during the Autopen administration, including the doctors that were terminated because they had a differing view on the mandates. And thank God for the free state of Florida and leaders like Governor Ron DeSantis who believe that these things should not be mandated, that you actually have bodily autonomy, that you have that right to choose. It seems like they only want the right to choose when there's two involved. And when it comes to the vile practice of abortion. But when you have a medical issue or something else, oh, to hell with that. They want mandates for you. You don't have a choice. As Secretary Kennedy laid out today in that hearing, children now have to get anywhere between 69 to 92 vaccines in a short period of time in order to be compliant with the federal government. When he was growing up, it was 3. So I look forward to this September. I look forward to the autism report. I look forward to everything and the truth being showcased to power to the so-called elites. They're not elite. You're elite. Think about 2026 and remaining engaged because, as President Ronald Reagan said, we are only one generation away from extinction. The winners and losers of the week on the Voice of Reason, we have to highlight, as Secretary Kennedy did this morning, David Rose, the DeKalb police officer who perished on August 8th in the attack on the CDC in Atlanta, Georgia. He had his funeral at the First Baptist Church in Atlanta in Dunwoody, Georgia. Many of my friends attend that beautiful church, and I like to go to the Christmas celebration there because it's just stupendous to get you in that sense, that mood for the Christmas holiday. And watching that and remembering his life, a 33-year-old husband and father, leaving behind a legacy. Thank God for people like David who are willing to put themselves in harm's way to protect others and wear that uniform. And, of course, Sergeant Michael Verardo has to be acclaimed in that as well, 40 years old, passing on August 26th, succumbing to the injuries he faced overseas in Afghanistan and Operation Iraqi Freedom. He dedicated years of his life, 15 years of his veteran career, to helping those who were in need, who were alone, who had post-traumatic stress disorder, who had terrible injuries as a result of those engagements. And the former Vice President, Michael Pence, joining in eulogizing his memory just this week. So our thoughts and prayers with those great people who put on that uniform, especially David Rose and Sergeant Michael Verardo. Thank you for your service. Thank you for laying down your lives so that others may live and thrive in this great nation of ours. And I think you can predict the losers of the week, the United States Senate Finance Committee. I've been harping on it on this show, but that was an egregious, disgusting display of why the United States Senate really only has a few members who are willing to fight and defend the constitutional principles of this great nation. It's sad to say the deep state is alive and well in a lot of different ways. And to try to get 15-second sound bites, are they really there for true information? Are they really there to work with Secretary Kennedy? As we heard from Sheldon Whitehouse on his rant, Secretary Kennedy rebuked and said, "You have my cell phone. I want to meet with you. I want to talk to you." These Democrats on this committee, the way they treated him was disgusting today. They are the charlatans. They are the ones like Ron Wyden of Oregon pushing false theories and conspiracy theories and hatred. And truly, you have to ask yourself, how evil are these people? But I can expect that from that party, a party that was for chattel slavery, a party that was against civil rights, a party that wants you to have forced mandates regardless of your health history. That those that want you to lose your job because you might go to church or you might go to the gym or because, God forbid, Sydney Sweeney has good genes. They hate free speech. They hate this country. They hate the founding principles. But, I'd expect more from people like Bill Cassidy and Tom Tillis. And thank God a couple of them are on their way out to retire. I bid you adieu, dear senators. But maybe it's time for you, my friends, to put your name in the hat and to serve your state, your constituency, and your neighbors in the halls of Congress, because God knows Article 1 needs some reforms and needs some courageous people, some of those people who will be highlighted in Georgia as we talk to the great Burt Miner, the Fayette County Red Gala coming up on October 3rd. It's a Friday. You should be there for all of that. So we hope you enjoyed this live Studio B, episode 13 of The Voice of Reason at Right Side Broadcasting Network. We're grateful for you. It's kind of a roller coaster of a show, wasn't it? A little bit of the nastiness that's going on in Washington, D.C., and that deep state globalist, the venom that they seek to inject into the society. But hey, we're back. America is back. National Football League tonight. It's the Eagles, the Cowboys. Hug the ones you love and enjoy the game tonight. We love you here at the Voice of Reason and at Right Side Broadcasting Network. And if you wish to opine, you can always write in feedback at rsbn.tv. That's feedback at rsbn.tv. But the Voice of Reason, it's a dash of politics, culture, music, sports. We do Man on the Street. We do things live from Studio B, and we're here for you to dive into the tough topics that are facing the federal city and your neck of the woods. Be sure not to miss it. Every 6 o'clock Eastern in the evenings on Thursdays. It's the Voice of Reason at Right Side Broadcasting Network. For all of my colleagues here at RSBN, I'm Robert McNeily. God bless you. We'll see you soon.